Hello friends, I'm Devali Vedi. I'm a clinical psychologist. I work with Sukoon Psychotherapy Center and run this awareness program by the name of Sukoon Pledge to Seek Help. Today I'm going to talk about sexual needs. We all are aware that we do have sexual needs. It's as basic as maybe need for food, need for clothes, need for shelter, need for protection. But we need to understand that being human, as we choose what we want to eat and what we don't want to eat, how would we get that food, from where would we get that food? We decide even on basic needs as that. So we do have the capacity to decide about how would we fulfill our sexual needs also. It's not that as it is said in animals, the animal is under heat and it will do it with anybody. So there is a choice. So like any other basic need, sexual need is a basic need, but there is always a choice. And it is important one to understand that if we have a choice, we have a responsibility of it. It cannot be that, we cannot say that, it was a need and it was fulfilled. There is a responsibility of choosing what we are doing sexually. Second thing which I like to bring up is the fact that, as we are saying, if we do have a choice, we also have an emotional factor involved in it. The sex for a human is not just biological, there is a lot of emotional factor. That's why even a lot of psychological issues around the sexual relationship which happens. Sometimes, like premature ejaculation, even at times we do see that it is caused due to psychological reasons and not due to biological reasons. And even in female and male, in both the genders, there are issues, sexual issues, which are psychologically caused. I have talked to a few of my clients where I have said that, can you do it with anybody? And this has been specifically with the male clients, and they very clearly say no. So we really need to understand that there's obviously, in humans, most of our decisions are much controlled by our brains, by our emotions, than just the biological needs. We can starve ourselves like anything, we can control anything in us, because we have our brains over our basic body. And sexual need is again fulfilled a lot by the emotional aspects and the factual, situational factors decided by the brain. So just having a need, yes, we all do, but how need it be fulfilled is a bigger question, because there has to be intellectual decisions behind it, and there has to be emotional decisions behind it. And we cannot rule out the emotional decisions with the sexual aspect, because sex does induce emotions. There is obviously, if we are talking of a lot of, if sex, simple, if you talk about sex in a biological sense, we do talk about that if there is a satisfaction sexually, there is a hormone which is produced which induces attachment. So we are again talking of emotions and attachments over here. We are talking of anyway the need of arousing the other partner, which is much more done emotionally than physically. You cannot just get in bed with somebody and just arouse the person. There is, I'm not saying it would, the arousal would be zero if we have seen sexual arousal even in the case of rape. But the arousal would be difficult, it will be painful, it would be with a lot of negative emotions around it. So usually sexual encounter, to make it nice, it has it has a lot of emotional component which needs to be taken care of, and we really need to value that. So we cannot see sexual need completely in terms of that, every human being has a sexual need, and so, go ahead and do it with anybody. We need to be very careful of what we choose, because it is going to induce emotional factors around it. It is at any cost going to be emotionally, even the casualist relationship will have its own memories to it and some emotions to it. It is going to impact you. There are issues which happen because of initial sexual encounters with another sexual partner, which maybe had started with an idea that it will end, so it did end. But then looking for a similar kind of love in the other relationship. Again, the intercourse is not mechanical. There's a lot of emotional factor to it. So there is lot of aspect of how it is done emotionally by the other that plays a huge role in the whole sexual relationship, which needs to be considered. So somebody who had asked me to talk about sexual needs, yes, it's very common. It is the basic need of a human being, but understand our biological needs. Humans control it emotionally and intellectually. So be responsible for what you do. Thank you.